In Undertale, you've always played as a little soul fighting for your life, dodging attacks coming from bosses like Sans, Undyne, or Papyrus. These bosses have complex attack patterns created by the developer of Undertale. Have you ever wondered what would it be like to play as one of those bosses? To answer that question, I remade the Undertale boss fight system and let you play as the boss creating the attack pattern. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I've never played Undertale. The idea for this video came from the Blenda, and it says, Undertale, but you're a monster and you have to create an attack pattern for someone to dodge. This was in response to my community post asking for your guys' ideas. If you have any ideas for any other videos I can make with a twist on popular games, go and comment on this video right now. Anyways, since I've never played Undertale before, the first step for this project was to go and research some common Undertale bosses and some of the mechanics for the boss fights. I found that the boss fight works with you being a little heart or soul, and you have different colors based on the different boss fights. I also learned that there are different attack types for the different bosses, but for my project I simplified that way down. I'm still going to have the different colored hearts, and I'm going to only have red and blue. With the red heart, you will be able to go in any direction without gravity, but then for the blue heart, you will be affected by gravity and need to jump. Then for the boss attacks, I'm going to make you Sans because he is the most iconic and recognizable boss. And then I'll give you the Bones attack that moves side to side and little arrow projectiles that will aim at you and move towards you. But before we do any of that, we need to start working on the gameplay. First, I drew up this little heart sprite for the player and the box that you will be playing in. Then I made the mechanic for the red heart where you will be floating around not affected by gravity, but you can switch to the blue heart where you will be getting affected by gravity and you will need to jump. Now that we have the gameplay for the player set up, we need to start working on the boss. I went and drew this sprite for Sans. It isn't the original pixelated style like Undertale Sans, but I feel like it's a nice cartoon style. Then I created a grid background and made it red, and this will show you if you're in editing mode for the boss or if you're playing it back as the heart. I also gave you the ability to drag your mouse on the grid and move the camera around. Then, when you switch back to playing mode, the grid will disappear and your camera will be locked in the middle. Next, I started to work on the boss's attacks. I started by creating a little preview that follows your mouse, and when you press the left click, it will be placed. The first attack I created was the bone. I drew this bone sprite and put it into the game, and the way this attack will work is whichever side of the arena you put it on, it will move horizontally towards the other side. So if you put it on the right side of the screen, it will move towards the left side and the other way around. This is such a simple mechanic, but it already adds so much to the boss fight and it's starting to look like a real Undertale fight. Then I got to work on the next attack, the arrows. I drew up a little arrowhead sprite and I added it as an object to follow the preview. This arrow will work by moving at a constant speed towards you, and once it gets into the playing area, it will stop following you and just go straight forwards. I think I made the arrows a little bit overpowered because when I put them into the game, it's really difficult to dodge, but Undertale is supposed to be a hard game, right? The final item I made you be able to place when you're playing as the boss is the heart. Now I know this isn't how it works in real Undertale, but in my game, when this heart touches you, it will switch you between the red and the blue heart. It'll act the same exact way as the arrow, but moving a little slower. This way, you'll be able to synchronize it with your other attacks. By the way, I'm a small channel that just hit 1,000 subscribers, and my new goal is to see if we can get to 2,000 before the end of the year, so please subscribe. Anyways, now that we have the basic boss set up with all 3 attacks, we needed some more stuff to make it into a real game. The first thing I added was this health bar that only shows up when you're in the playing mode. It has a yellow background just like how the original Undertale health bar looks. Then I created a screen for when you survive your boss fight and one for when you lose. I also tried to keep these similar to the original Undertale style. I got a pixelated font and created this typewriter effect going letter by letter for the words. Next up, I realized the game was missing sounds. I opened up my song maker and I took heavy inspiration from the original Undertale songs, and I created 2 separate songs. One calm one for when you're in the editor mode, and another fast-paced one for when you're playing against your boss. Since it's a 8-bit retro type of game, I think I could get away with using this 8-bit sound effect maker, and I got this sound effect for when you get hit. Overall, I'm so thankful for the Blenda leaving this comment. This is something I never would have thought of on my own, but this project turned out so well. I left a link in the description to the game's itch.io page if you want to check it out. Comment your ideas for your favorite games and a twist on them under this video, and I might use your idea for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing.